Okay. Here we are on something. Here we are on round of 16 of the championship, online championship. We're up against JNails. And yeah, we'll see how we do. This board we immediately see there's no village and no non-terminal draw. Our trashing options are like counterfeit, remake, mercenary, sanctuary, so it's all there. One thing, of course, you can do on this kind of board is to kind of go a sanctuary deck where you kind of, buy green cards and then immediately exile them. There's counterfeit capital that's going to let us build up to like double provinces. So that's probably something we want to end up doing at least once or twice. Our start here, I don't know. It's always tempting to be taking like remake, but I guess our alternative is to start like Smithy Silver, try to get big banishes in. It doesn't sound that great against the urchins, but on the other hand, what are the urchins doing for you? I think our real goal here is going to be like line up counterfeit capital, get like sanctuary in. We might see venture play here. I think I do like starting with the Smithy Silver. Let's do that. It's a little bit concerning, of course. Like, are the urchins just gonna beat me up? Maybe. We'll see. Pawn, that indicates you're in a 2-5 situation, which is just going to be pawn counterfeit. Here we'll grab a counterfeit. And this 5. See what next turn brings when it happens. I'm not horribly unhappy with this situation, though. I think this is pretty clearly a counterfeit as opposed to a sanctuary, but we'll see. So that's everything we expected. The Smithy ends up missing, which is... it's bad. I'm just going to take another silver here. It's not like... You have like a 3 estate banish just immediately right off the bat. That's what it looks like. I guess it might be a 3 copper banish, but if so, that's going to be a really big problem if it's the estates. Well, the fact that you're not immediately doing it sort of makes me think it's not. Okay. Yeah. I think this would be another counterfeit. Possibly a sanctuary. Given your deck. So let's take the silver. With a little bit of luck, we'll draw 2 estates, but as I say, well, that's a lot more than a little bit of luck. That would be a lot of luck. Okay, yeah, that didn't happen. We could think about Enclave here. I'm not entirely sure what next turn's going to bring us. We could also think about, like, exiling out these coppers. Let's see, next turn's going to bring us like 4 2 estates. We would exile 2 estates. So yeah, let's clear out these coppers. And we'll take out the 2 estates here. This is probably capital. Or if I can, both a capital and a counterfeit. I don't think I can. That's estate counterfeit. Which means I max out at 9. Picked up a smithy at some point. Turn 4, okay. You clearly don't have it in hand. Okay. So we're gonna trash a copper here, I think. It gets us to reach 8, we'll take capital silver. I think the silver's better. It's going to be better than nothing. Okay, you should be taking capital here for sure. I want another counterfeit this turn. We'll see how much money. It'll be a ton of money. It'll be like 13 or something. 13, 14, 15, 19 or something like that. Anyways, we'll deal with it when we get there. Urchin. Okay. Not too concerned about the urchin. This will be counterfeit. Capital. I don't know if we want a sanctuary here or not. Or whether we want to say like enclave or even province. I could also think about taking another counterfeit. Counterfeit smithy. Just to thin down and like do more of the capital stuff next turn. And make sure that I do find a smithy. The deck isn't where it's a guarantee. You, of course, still have the one estate around. Well, they collide, but it's not the worst thing ever. You found everything, so that's bad. Of course. So I expect you to be taking like two capitals, fine, 2 capitals. Maybe another counterfeit. Not sure. This turn we're going to want to buy 2 capitals. Possibly 3. Let's see. Well, we'll see how much money we have. That's what it always is see how much money we have. Of course, we can hope that you, like, miss the smithy somehow, although I don't think you wouldn't get stuff done if you were to miss it. So, Of course, I'm carrying this extra estate around along with a couple extra silvers. A lot of extra silvers. Can we identify what that card is? It's Urchin. I have like 3 silvers right now. Which, I don't know. Okay, another sanctuary. Okay, so this will just be take out the capital, take out a copper, and go like 2 capitals. I could take like 2 more capitals. That would be an interesting move. I don't know how close this game is to being like over. I think if I take 2 more capitals and draw, I could possibly win, although maybe you just could. A lot of buys. There's probably a bad turn coming. This would kind of limit you, is the idea. Well, I don't know if I don't just lose. Let's try it. Something atrocious happened over there. I don't know what that is. Smithy, capital. Yeah, I'm not figuring this one out. to where you can't get everything you want. I assume you have to score. Is the last capital, which does sort of gimp up your next turn. So I guess you're probably going to take like enclaves. Figure it out. Maybe you just go into provinces. I think you have to put a bit more money in, though. Which would be enclaves. Potentially. Kind of like buying money and stuff this turn. Hopefully I don't just like there's a draw here where I draw like counterfeit silver or smithy, and that's really bad. Get those enclaves and duchy. Leave duchies empty. Let's see here. Okay. So we have the smithy coming in next turn. We're not going to have enough money to be doing much of anything this turn. You're not emptying duchies here, that's for sure. We're going to hold the counterfeits, I think, for certain. Let's see, what's your money potential? You know, like counterfeit. I don't think you're getting to a win. Maybe. You can counterfeit capital gold. That would be like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24. So that doesn't really seem like it's going much of any place that'll win. If we do this one, we'd be at 23. I mean, I think we want to ditch it anyways, regardless. Let's do that. I can enclave. We can do this double enclave thing. That seems mostly fine. There's nothing. So let's do that much. I think I can probably afford to be taking another counterfeit here. I have 24. Let's take this counterfeit. Oh, that's annoying. I might discard a capital. It's unlikely that I draw enough counterfeits there for 3. obviously have a little bit of a problem not having the sanctuaries in deck, but I'm just never going to be stable enough to do that. The hope is that the game ends before that happens. What happened here? I needed to get a sanctuary at some point. The big copper banish might not have been the greatest idea. It may have wanted to be a counterfeit instead. But let's see. Yeah, 4 times 6, 24. You have to clear a lot out. You might do that and then take like 3 enclaves. I don't know. I guess that possibly puts you in a pretty bad position to me, say, emptying counterfeit and Provent and getting points. I don't know how I do that. I think going for the 24 and taking 3 enclaves might be your best move. I'm a lot more at mercy of draws than you are, of course. Although I don't know that playing all 4 of these are completely expected. There aren't 2 counterfeits there. What was it? No, you exiled the duchy. Okay, never mind. We're good with having the two counterfeits, a gold and a capital. And this doesn't feel very good. Anyways. Feels like my deck really wants to have a sanctuary in it, but I just don't know where I'd fit it in. I mean, you're not going to be playing the capital plane. It's just a matter of whether you want to double counterfeit or not. Okay. 20. Is that going to bring like 2 enclaves? Or enclave, double duchy? I don't know. I don't think I like the enclave double duchy, but I don't know what you do otherwise. I wonder if 3 enclaves would have given you, like, potential. I need for that 35, and that doesn't even win. Let's see, can you reach 20 on your turn? Counterfeit, counterfeit. Gold, gold. Let's see. It's counterfeit, counterfeit, gold, gold, plus gold, silver. So that's 6 plus 6 plus 5 plus 3 is 20 exactly. Which means I can't be leaving that. I mean, I guess I could leave it as like a tie. How much money is this? 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. It's tempting to just like take 4 provinces. I guess I could also like double enclave, double province. Which sounds pretty good. So we wanted to go I wonder if I had estates. I had estates. To refigure this out. So like 2 duchies. Two duchies in the estates is 14 points, which is enough to win. This can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 buys. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's better. So this is duchy, duchy, and then 8 estates. Okay. Okay. So it worked out. Let's try this again. So your start. And we have Peasant. Amazing. Well. Yeah. Teacher looks not good. That's the first thing. Disciple looks amazing, on the other hand. We're going to start Peasant Raise. The Peasant plays a squirrel for certain. I need to remember Basilica. We're going to play 4 coppers here. Like tempting to take Nomad Camp. This is just going to squirrel, unfortunately. It'll lead to 3 on the next turn. I guess we'll buy another Peasant. I don't know how I feel about playing this as Peasant versus playing it as Squirrel. Take another raise here. This has been a not great start. The alternative would be playing it as Peasant and taking, like, double encampment. Which might lead to better things this next shuffle. I think probably would lead to better things this next shuffle. Encampment. Maybe raise? I think I like double encampment. Sure, exchange that. Certainly we don't need to be hoarding the encampments. Just have them. Like this. I'm getting through the deck nowhere near as well. You have 2 estates out, which is bad for me. There's a dog. So this is doing this. I don't know what I want from this turn, whether it's going to be like... I could take another raise, although I have, like, nothing. That would force next turn to buy something good, like a livery, perhaps. Which might be okay. Let's just do this. We'll take either a peasant or a raise. I guess a raise. Those can go. And this turn we'll look to get a livery. We can then disciple with a little, well, I keep saying with a little bit of luck, but it's actually quite a lot of luck. Given that I don't actually have the deck to be doing that kind of thing. Alright, well, this is good. So, here's going to be a livery. That's what we want to be discipling. I believe. Yeah, that sounds good. And exchange both of those. Hopefully we'll be able to go find the disciple with this raise. And otherwise, I guess we'll get a crown, gold or something. That's everything we wanted there. Expand. How do I feel about expand versus crown? Not great so far. Let's get ourselves a crown. I'm certainly keeping that. The thing I'm missing right now is buy. Okay. I'll have to figure out how to put that in, of course. That's probably expanding a copper to a peasant. Realistically. The hope would be to disciple a crown this turn, but obviously I have a lot of garbage. A lot more garbage than you do, of course. You probably don't even need to think about this expand. This can just be like crown peasant. Like the encampment seems pretty useless, to be honest. And gold is not what we were going to go for either. Okay, so that worked. There's probably squirrels. Well, now it plays. And then we're going to disciple livery. Raise a copper, play livery. Go ahead and buy this expand, I think. Keep those both where they are. Well, this sucks. Well, we're going to self-raise. No doubts there. The only question's going to be what happens after the self-raise. Like, if we pull a horse, which is pretty likely, just play the horse. Or do we disciple it? We're probably going to end up needing to disciple it just to make sure that we get this turn going. Why don't you disciple your crown? I don't get it. All this encampment stuff seems so useless. I'm just so far down on the thinning, I'm not sure that it matters. And the buys. And just about every other way we could be down. And the money, apparently, too. Like, I can imagine a world where you just buy 3 provinces here and are pretty happy with it, but I guess sure, take expand. Expand, crown, province. And my first shuffle did not go the greatest there. I mean, the Rays missed estates. Of course. Crown, province. God, expand. But I'm not sure it matters. Well, this is gonna lose the game the rest of the way. So I guess we're taking expand here and hope you leave something. I apparently don't actually have horses. Despite apparently having a lot of horses. I'll just see how many horses I have. I have 9 horses, and I somehow saw 0 of them. Well, I guess I didn't have 9 horses. I had, only 3. I only have 3 horses. I don't know. Something was weird there. 4 horses. 5 horses. I should have had. I don't know. Okay. Well, anyways, that happened. Here we have a 5. I'm not sure that I like this 5. No draw here, which means it's going to be a lot of militia ugliness. What I really want to figure out how to do, would really like to figure out how to do here is hit 7 for the forge. I guess this 5 probably can be highway. You can't play like a big highway workshop turn, I don't think. And I guess you could like stow highways with turtle and then workshop, and yeah, that seems bad compared to like getting platinum. I think your 4 should pretty clearly be militia, caravan guard. 3, 4. But I guess I'll see. In the interest of getting a forge, highway does seem like my best bet. Okay, just take that. Here will be caravan guard. We'll buy caravan guard on every 3. This game already looks like a problem. Okay, this game now really looks like a problem. This will just have to be another caravan guard. We'll keep getting them apparently until we die. Oh, you can turtle caravan guards when they... Oh, that's interesting. Like this militia. Okay, you got to forge, sure enough. Just lovely. Now we get to forge 2. That's nice. I guess we basically always want to be turtling them. Well, from here. Although here I think I'd play it if I were to get militiaed. So we have the estates. I guess that one I could have turtled. I don't know. Here it'll just be more caravan guard. I don't think a second militia is gonna do it. Again. Oh, that's annoying. So you get a fair amount of thinning here. I wonder what the last thing is there. Well, I guess we wanna play it so we can buy. This time, if we get attacked, this will turtle. For sure. Maybe it's more of a when we get attacked. Just thin everything. Hopefully it'll work out at some point, though. This is looking quite frankly terrible. 2-5 is not helpful. Having militia discard 2 coppers was not helpful. So, feels like there's just nothing to do here. I need to get a lot more highways. That's going to turn into a pretty significant problem if I don't. But on the other hand, you're like already thin enough to be running this good deck. It seems. So. This pretty clearly has to be played. It'll just take a patron. And another highway for whatever good that does. It's like you can't let your opponent get 7. guess. Which, alright. I don't know how many highways I have. Whether I need this workshop. It seems a good bet I do. I guess I have at least 4. No. Looks like I only have 3, which is a massive problem. Well, let's just try to get colonies. Looks like I only have the 3 highways. I mean, it's easy to blame the 2-5 and the copper discards. I don't think we were trying to do anything particularly different here, so... Maybe the 5 could have been a militia. That seems... not great. I probably would have hit 2 estates anyways. Hope you attack. Darn. I'd probably go highway patron into platinum given the opportunity. Trying to think, our goal is just going to be buy colonies, quite simply. And we would have really hoped. So this could be like highway estate into gold. I'd sure like to be playing militia, I think. On the other hand, if I play this highway, I might be able to get up to platinum. Okay. This could be gold highway, estate into platinum. That seems worthy of doing. I guess that can turtle now that we know that that's not happening. And this is just nothing. Which is characteristically terrible. Like, the problem is you're going to be able to do both this workshop thing and by colonies. Which means I don't know what I'm hoping for. I think this is enough. Let's move on to your start. It was doomed. Peasant again. What does this version of Peasant want us to do? This version of Peasant apparently wants us to open Archive. I think that's going to be better than Potion initially. We are going to want Apothecaries. I'm getting right backed. Let's take this opportunity to also be back. Okay. What do we want to do? Archive Peasant. Eventually, you want to do Wishing Well Apothecary, but this seems the clear start. Alright, so this is excellent. Here we'll pick up our potion. Move that along. Here could be another archive. There's a interesting possibility, of course. And this board you are going to eventually want a teacher on. Yeah, I think we're going to take another archive here. I don't know that we want it, like, long term. This could also play as, like, another peasant. I think that can wait a few turns. Okay. This turn might be the peasant. Let's see. So like this sets up for a double buy this turn. We can go ahead and discard one of those. And buy like Apothecary, maybe Wishing Well. I'm thinking about something that we might want. More than one of. We don't want to be putting aside one archive. That's for sure. Let's grab a Wishing Well. And probably move both of these along. I guess we'll keep the Peasant. Let's move both of them along. It's not clear yet whether we're going to want a teacher. It's going to kind of depend on game state. Let's see. Okay, you're unfortunately gonna get around here. I'd like another Peasant. You know, but I don't know. Okay, well, this is a worst case for sure. Not too concerned about Wild Hunt points. I think I just want another Apothecary here. Although, of course, I could certainly see a Peasant. At some point, we may want to Reap. I mean, with Apothecary Wishing Well, I'm pretty comfortable taking Peasant here over Apothecary on top. Maybe with the one archive going into the shuffle. But okay, this looks not so great. Yeah, let's take the Peasant. Oh, this is annoying. A little bit of extra noise, huh? I guess you'd like to be putting the disciple on something that isn't peasant, but that's not going to happen. Could also think about taking potion here and stilling disciple for the start of next turn. I think that's going to be a better move. And then we can take, like, Apothecary, Tormentor, or something. We'll keep the Peasant. Right there. I don't really have a feel for how this game is going. My brain's being a little bit butchered out by the leaf blower. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's annoying. Just gonna point out that it is annoying. Like, really freaking annoying. We're discarding a state. Copper, sure. You reap there. About archive. So this will be fine. Order doesn't matter so much. We'll just grab the archive. I guess this can come first. Take the Tormentor. Disciple Apothecary again. We can leave an Apothecary on top. Make 2 Apothecaries on top. Greed is probably more helpful than anything. And this can be like Apothecary Reap. And hold the plus by. This turn we'd like to get, I think, Disciple on Wishing Well. Oh, you took a Teacher. Huh. That's gonna... It's like card on Apothecary or something like that. I feel like that's overly necessary. We'll see. There's a chance I just get beat up by it. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, though. I think. terms of, like, buying Dominate. The deck might go a little bit unstable. That's what we're going to be discipling Wishing Wells. Might even end up discipling an Archive later. As it goes. So yeah, here's where I want to be putting it on the Wishing Well, I think. Just can like wish for Estate and then I don't know, Copper. Okay, that was fine. I have to do a little bit of tricks here, I guess. To put the Disciple on anything useful. Okay. Apparently that was enough. It was going to take a while. And I think I had an advantage. Anyways, back to my start. We're tied. It would be good to win this one. What have we here? We have, like, prosperity. That's what I see. Yeah, we have Trashing and Recruiter, we have Draw and Ball, we have Buying Goons. We have Apothecary again, that's Draw. It's just gonna be worse than Vault, I think. Horn of Plenty is gonna be the main supply of stuff for Recruiter. I guess our start's going to be Moneylender Lighthouse. I think that's reasonably good at hitting 5 for Recruiter. Just, of course, what we want to be doing. Second 5 is probably Horn of Plenty. I'm not sure on the silver over. It's like Keep. Keep's just nothing. I don't know on the silver. I guess it gives you a stronger chance at 2 5s, which is not terrible, but you didn't get it, so now I have a Lighthouse and you don't. Here'll be Goons if I can reach it. I guess that's like... I don't know. Let's see, I guess that's unlikely. Did you miss 5? Oh, that would be amazing. That would be so amazing. Yeah, you missed 5. Excellent. Okay, here's another 5. This one's going to probably be a second Recruiter. Given the 2 estates in this shuffle. We're going to want a second Recruiter anyways. I could also see it as a Horn of Plenty. But let's just play it a little bit safe there. This turn can be the Horn. This just has to be Recruiter, in my opinion. Like, especially given this, you're not hitting 5 in that next hand. There's no way. So... Alright, so this can either be Goons or Horn of Plenty. It almost surely wants to be Goons, given what your deck looks like right now. Especially with no Lighthouse around. If you did have Lighthouses around, we would be more tempted by Horn of Plenty, but again, you don't. So here will be Horn. this turn we want to like buy a lighthouse. And some other things. Do some other things. I have more copper. Tied on copper. Oh, horn. I have more horn. That's why. Okay. Trying to figure out where the stuff is coming from. So this will be we're gonna gain a horn and we're gonna buy a lighthouse poacher. Except that peddler's just better than poacher. So let's do that instead. We can think about trashing this money lender. Yeah, that seems clear enough to do. These are reaching 5, so that can be like horn, vault, buy peddler. Vault. Peddler. I don't know if it ends up really being a big horn turn or if you just get so much of a lead off of the goons points. You've gotten yourself thin enough, so that's no longer a major advantage. Okay, goons of your own. I'm not sure if goons of your own is the thing you're looking for there, but I guess we might actually want a second one ourselves. Think about trashing the peddler. We'll trash copper. Goons. Probably just want to take like a couple horn of plenties here, probably 3 even. And then just go something safe like vault peddler. Maybe a little conservative. I guess the deal is you have more copper. That's why you have the little lead right now. No, one last turn to use the poacher. Trash a peddler. I don't think I want to draw into that. I guess there's like, it's what, 2 horns? A little bit annoying to leave, but... So let's take horn. You have 4 gains. Could take platinum here. I could just take more vault. Let's take a platinum. Low confidence on that one. Poacher sucks. You should have trashed it. Okay, yeah, that got runaway material really quick after the start there. Not being able to buy recruiter is just death. Alright, your start. And donate. Oof. Well... How does Bounty Hunter donate work? Because I think that's what it is it's Bounty Hunter donate. It's going to be like Silver Bounty Hunter donate. There's some exact line that I should know. It'd be like leave 2 coppers, a silver. Oh, I guess there's also a thing where you like kiln golds and then remodel them to provinces. Or enhance them to provinces. I don't. I don't think that's going to be faster than just going like straight after this Bounty Hunter donate business. Oh. Low confidence. It might allow you to do better. I'm not sure. I think our start's silver. It's silver something. I think it's Silver Bounty Hunter either way, which kind of means just do the straight Bounty Hunter thing. There's of course concerns there about lack of draw. Kinda messes stuff up. I have to figure out exactly how many coppers to keep. Oh, it's all too hard for me. Silver. I'm gonna have to do a lot of changeling clicking here, I guess. Yeah, Bounty Hunter. Do we donate here? Yes. We donate down to 2 coppers, a silver, and a state in the Bounty Hunter. Two is horrible. You may have been holding like Bounty Hunter there, in which case 5 is also horrible. This 2 coppers, silver, estate. Okay, so we'll pay here, we'll get 2 golds, and then we'll start provincing. You have 1 gold, you have to buy gold. Gold. I guess we can province like now. It'll delay a turn by a turn, but you know. maybe we want that gold. Hey, you needed to not exile that copper badly. This would mean that this is going to be something like kiln. Which doesn't seem terrible. Although it just means you can't get to province next turn, which also seems terrible. I strongly believe you didn't want to just do that copper. Oh, I guess we could, like, exile a copper. Enhance the gold. There's lots of ways to do it from here. Is what the point is. I just want the golden deck, and if you can beat it, so be it. I think. Is my plan. Right now, at least, looks like I get to province a turn sooner, which is big. If you were holding 2 the one turn, I don't think I could do anything about. Assuming a lot. I got like province, gold. I don't know if I want the provinces right now or what. Don't mess with enhance. It's always worrying to play these decks that don't do a whole lot. This is just exile. I can province here. I can like province for 2 turns, then buy gold naturally. I don't think the order matters so much. So I think I'm just going to take the gold here. And province from here. I guess you like bounty the kiln. You need a second gold to get the enhanced consistency. Alright, well, this ended up working. Except that you don't get province, which is a problem. Oh, no, you do get province. I mean, it seems clear that you province from here and we just end up tying, although that doesn't work for you, is the thing. So, I guess instead you get like an expand. You get an expand, you expand the kiln to province, you enhance the gold, that's a double. But then what? Bounty the expand. Okay. Let's tie. Ties make me happy. Kiln's not going to get you anywhere, I don't think. Not anywhere extra. Like, you need to run some gambit with, like, expand or something so that you can double on some turn. Which, I mean, seems to be the thing to do for you. You're bringing in the extra golds. So, bounty the province, kill the gold, get an expand. Although it puts you a province behind that pace, so... I don't know. Like, you needed to do it that turn, I think. Get the expand. Or maybe this turn. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, you need to do it that turn. Say, I'm getting an expand. There ain't nothing to do about it. And we can do duchies, sure. I guess you get the remodel here. Okay. Do I get the remodel? Or do I want to expand? It's one of the two. You get the remodel. I guess the hope is that you don't draw the remodel here. Otherwise you can almost certainly double. So... let's go. Darn. Okay. Nope. Bottom deck the kiln. Okay, well, yeah, I messed that one up to not get into a tie situation. Random player order is the last one, and it's for everything. And I am second player on this board where that looks like a terrible thing. Our start's going to be Fisherman Bard. That looks clear enough. Then we want wars. We want liveries. And I don't know. Hope that the bard does something magical, because other than that, this looks pretty streamlined. The one thing is like a raid. At some point that might be something that you want. not too into trashing early, especially not hideout being it. I want captains, like a couple, but I don't know that I will actually want that many. Wharf is going to be mostly better. I was impressed a little bit with the remodel go about things. Watch you get Sky's gift or Sun's gift. That would be something. We're probably hitting 4 again here, which can be like probably just another fisherman. 6. That should be Wharf. I guess you can think maybe about Academy. Okay, that was the one we wanted to see. And let's get a Wharf. Amazing boon. Just amazing boon. Would have been better to discard this estate, but let's not be choosy. Even better if we see the Wharf right here. You must not be looking at your Bard, because otherwise you would have played it by now. Okay. That was not what we were looking for there. I don't know if another fisherman or like a hideout is better for me right now. I think it's probably got to be another fisherman. This turn's going to hit 4. We probably buy Villa to play the Bard. Not 100% on that one. This is certainly not a good case for this draw. I'm not sure what the Bard could give us that we'd like. That's the thing. Like a silver or what. So I may just want to take a silver here after this Wharf play. I certainly wouldn't be thrilled with having the Villa in deck. Or we could start looking at the hideout. Would be the other thing. I think we'll probably look at the hideout. Let's say the mountains gift sucked, but it didn't. Eventually we have like Livery Villa going on. Whatever that does. So, yeah, let's take this hideout. Not happy about the numbers I'm hitting. I'd like another Wharf. Livery Villa can kind of do loopy things, but it does take a lot of money. So there's that. If I discard 3 of these, can I still hit 5? Yeah. Alright, let's get this other wharf in. I have a little bit of concern about actually like not having these silvers. That is, you're producing slightly more money. You'd be happier to have that be a wharf right now than the livery, that's for sure. This can be maybe a silver at this point rather than another fisherman. With the idea that I'm drawing some amount. This time around we'll do the villa. Okay. Oh, what do I want another of? Probably hideout. I can take a livery right here. Yeah, that sounds good. Or maybe academy. Yeah, let's get the livery into the shuffle. Well, looking at the size of this thing, maybe it should just been another wharf. It definitely should have just been another wharf. So this can be like livery academy, perhaps. I don't think the academy is too valuable. We could look at something like a forum livery also, depending on how we want to end up doing most of the drawing. That could be a possibility here also. We're going to have a wharf in that shuffle, which is going to be good enough for me. One wharf. So let's go like... It costs me like captain. What does captain do? Seems worse than livery. Go academy livery here if I think that's a good idea. I don't know that the academy does much though. Like, you'll have all these villagers, but I can just buy villa. And it comes with horse, and it's like neutral. So let's go with 2 liveries. Liveries. However you want to call it. See what the wharf draws. I guess that's like an estate, and... Well, I mean, that's an estate. We know it's dead. regardless. Depending on what the card off the top is, will depend on what we buy, or will affect what we buy, of course. It'd be stupid to say otherwise. So you're just going to take Villa Wharf, or maybe Villa Livery. Let's see. I think this should still be a Wharf, especially with the shuffle that you're about to have. It's nice to have the little extras going in here. Okay. So we can do roughly the same thing here, like go. Just take a villa, take a whatever. It's probably what we want to do. Go like villa, and then this guy. Hopefully we can do a bit better on the drawing this turn. Looks like you're going along. Certainly. Well, you don't take the last 3 or what? You can think about raid. I think a raid would be good for you. Well, I don't know what else you would be taking with it. Which means you may just want to be taking like three of these guys. I don't know where my money's gonna come from. No idea where my money's gonna come from. Maybe you take another. You're probably gonna take another. You might also be holding horses. You should be holding horses. I guess to do some gaining and playing. We'd like to do that, but it's not going to come this turn. pretty much, which makes me feel like this game probably ends on your next turn, although maybe there's not going to be enough buys there. Or maybe I'll suck up the rest of the villas. Wharf. I don't understand the wharves. I guess it's buy. Okay, well, this was pretty useless. We probably just take, like, I don't know. I was gonna say we probably just take like 2 more liveries, but I don't have the draw to do that right now. How much money do you have? It's not money, but buys. So 1, 2, 3. Probably like 4 buys. 5 buys. So theoretically taking like Wharf isn't safe, although I doubt there's the money to do anything about that. So I need draw. Need more draw in order to kind of get the loopish thing going. Like a wharf. I don't know whether this wants to be like forum or livery. Livery. Let's make it a forum. Hope for the best. Yeah, do your drawing. Like, you won't be winning this turn, but if you take out all the villas, I have problems. It's not like the villagers are giving you that advantage. It's just, if you take out all the villas, I have problems. If you have that buy, I may. No, there's not enough money. No, if you take out all the villas, I'm going to have problems. And I think you might as well do that. It's going to be problematic. you can take the rest of these without really sacrificing your draw, and it would kill me. I'm a little bit perplexed that I only have one. Well, no, that's sensible. Okay, never mind. I was going to say I was perplexed that I only had the one livery, but... I hate this so much. Like, what were you doing the rest of these games if this is what you need here? You should raid Villa a bunch of times. Fisherman was not where it was at. I mean, I'm assuming you're holding some number of horses. It should just be raid Villa a bunch of times. Like, I think raid Villa a bunch of times would win. Just you could do that, right? Why are you trashing a horse? I mean, maybe the raid villa isn't gone yet, but it sure seems close. Being gone. I guess maybe it wouldn't quite win. You might not end up with the buys. I feel like it was something that you really wanted to do either way. So... I wonder what, like, a bad draw for you is. Really hard to imagine. Like, I can't be playing for a dud, but I'm behind on everything. I just want to take out the villas at this point. I mean, you should do a little bit of raiding with it too, but mostly take out the villas. Coppers. Maybe you think you can do it this way. That doesn't sound right. This leaves you one by too few. Right. I mean, it also leaves you a couple piles too few. take out the villas, sure. That was the right move, I guess province, okay. We don't have any of this gain in play is going to present a pretty significant problem for my deck. Like, that's the point. But so this turn I'm going to want Academy for sure. So I'm going to need Academy, I think. I guess we want to like figure out how to produce more money. We can't do this raid stuff anymore. I probably just have to like score a little. Probably take a few coppers while I'm at it. So that would mean like two provinces, a silver, and two coppers would get me to the triple province. I don't know if that actually like is valuable at all. Like if I double, right, and then you triple, we're good. So I guess that's the situation I want. So let's double. And we want a silver and two coppers. Or do we want 2 coins and 2 coppers? Well, I can play this livery next turn also to consider. So I might want like a bard and 3 coppers. I mean, I can assume I'm drawing again. Right. So I have 3 more coins already than this turn. So let's get it to where I can double province, double duchy. So that would be 23, 24, 25, 26. I mean, I assume you have a way to just win here anyways, but you can produce 26, I'm sure. And however many buys. Was I even getting horses? No, I'm 5 horses. It's pitiful. Right. 26. Nope, should be no problem. Academy wouldn't have done it. Nothing would have done it. Just make sure that you understand that you can win. It could be 4 provinces, it could be whatever, okay. Alright, well, that's it for me. Sucks to have it end that way. Second player. You know what? That's enough of that crap. But I'm off the table for some reason. Anyways, I'll see you all back to League.